All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, September 8th, 2020. It is episode 200 of Morning Perspective. And this morning, we're going to talk about taking advice from the right people. This is a little family perspective episode for you that I think will be super helpful. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys. Good morning to you. So it is episode number 200 this morning, episode 200. And so I wanted to pick something that was, really special, really a topic that I feel super passionate about. And this is definitely one. So it is taking advice from the right people. And so we're going to dig into this one. I'm going to put a little family spin on it this morning because, I think this is something that I see a lot of people when they're, kind of struggling personally or in their family life or, just different areas of their life. They tend to get advice from, some of the wrong people. And so I want to dig into that. And I want to talk through, exactly how I have seen people do this very well and exactly how I've seen people not do this very well. If I could ask you guys to please share this one out this morning, I would greatly appreciate it. I think it will be helpful, and it's episode 200, so you guys could do me a favor there and share it out for me. I appreciate it. I want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening, Carla? Good morning, Trisha, Tammy, Jared, Eli. There's a bunch of other people. Mr. Callaway's on here. Scott Ringland, good morning to you, my brother. I can't see all of you guys on here, so I apologize if I missed anybody. But let's dig in here. So taking advice from the right people. So exactly how do we describe the right people? So, what I would say to you is to never, ever take advice from someone that you wouldn't switch places with on the exact topic that you are trying to get advice on. So, for me, there are different buckets in my life. The four main ones that people typically talk about, faith, family, fitness, and finances. And what I will tell you is this. Here's what I see a lot of people do. I see a lot of people look at one of those areas. Let's say that it's finances. Somebody is financially successful. And so they assume that they can go to this person for advice in the other areas because they have been financially successful. So they have done something in their life that has given them some financial resources. And what I will tell you is this. I've seen a lot of people who are extremely successful in the financial area of life that honestly, like they are not qualified at all to give advice in the other three areas. So faith, family, and fitness aren't even on the map for these people. And so what I would challenge you guys to think about is that, success in one of those areas, it does not necessarily equal success in another. So you really have to look at, who am I going for advice from? So when it comes to relationships or marriage or, anything that involves, that love part of your life, whatever that is for you, whether it's dating, whether it's marriage, whatever it is, don't go for advice from someone just because they are successful in another area of their life. The other thing I will tell you is don't go for advice to people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. And this is a big one. So many times throughout my career, I have, led hundreds and hundreds of people between, my life back in corporate America and then having my own business. And what I see is that people go through relationship challenges or marital challenges. And what they do is they go to those people who they have something in common with for advice, because my guess is that they probably don't want to hear the truth at that very moment. So they're going to somebody who may not tell them the right thing. And so, the example is, you're having trouble with your wife. Your buddy's having some trouble with his wife. And so you go to that buddy, and then you guys come up with a plan together on how to solve both of your problems. Does that sound like a good solution to you? It is. It's not a good solution. It's not going to lead to a very good place. So if you're going to a person who has had, a successful marriage for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, or just currently, that they're in a really good place with their marriage. They do all the right things. Their actions line up with things that you would like to emulate. You're probably going to get great advice, or at least sound advice. If you go to your buddy who is also having marital problems, they're probably going to tell you something that lines up with what they want at that very moment. It's irresponsible advice coming from someone who is also emotionally charged in their own situation. One of the things that I talk about quite frequently is emotional discipline. And if you look around you at the people that you want to emulate, like if I look around me at the people that I really look up to and respect, one of the most consistent things that I see is emotional discipline. So they have consistent emotional discipline that doesn't allow them to get, too far out of whack when it comes to how they react to things, how they handle things, how they process challenges in their life. And so those are the people, if I was giving you advice on who to go to for advice on any aspect of your life, it would be to go to someone with emotional discipline, right? Somebody that doesn't just react, knee-jerk reaction to every single thing that happens in their life. Somebody that's not all over the place when it comes to how they behave and how they act. Go to those people who are really consistent, who, when you tell them something, they actually think before they give you a response. They actually process it, and they try to guide you in the right place. Because when you're asking for advice, those people have to be qualified. And so sounds like a really simple rule, but it's a major thing, that if you're looking at one area of your life, you don't want to take advice from someone that you wouldn't switch places with. So if that is fitness, you want to be going to people that have extensive experience in the fitness arena, in healthy eating, in how to work out, recovery, all of those things. You want to make sure that somebody's got the right experience. If you're talking about family, you want to be going to someone who has that level of experience, who is running a family of their own, who has been through some challenges, who knows how to navigate it, and knows how to give you sound advice that isn't just a knee-jerk reaction of how to deal with something, but how to live through this challenge that you're having so that you can come to a great resolution. And it doesn't, by the way, always mean that, staying in a situation is the right thing, or that leaving a situation is the right thing, but it takes someone that actually wants to listen and actually has some experience. Because, and again, I'm going to repeat this again, just because you see someone who is really successful in one bucket of their life does not give them any qualifications to be giving you advice in others. And so, when you look at it, there are plenty of successful people out there that have a lot of financial security that I would never want my children to emulate in other aspects of life, in faith and family and fitness, right? Or plenty of other more detailed areas of life. But, just remember that as you're going out to seek out advice, don't go to the people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. Some of what I see in today's world is that, online social media has given us such ability to go find so many people that agree with us. I'll give you an example. Last night, I was got back from my parents' house. We spent the Labor Day hanging out with my parents and the kids, swimming in my parents' pool. And we got home, and I sat down and watched TV, which I don't do very often. And my wife came down, and I was watching something that is really the opposite of what my beliefs are in a lot of ways, right? And my wife looked at me and was like, you're really watching this? And my response was, yeah, I'm watching this because I want to understand the other side. And so I challenge you to think about this. Are you taking advice from people that just think the exact same way as you do in whatever area of your life that is? You know, if you are having trouble in your marriage and you are getting advice from someone who is also having trouble in their marriage, is it really going to lead you to a good place? If you're having trouble with your children, you know, some challenges with your children, you know, I'm not sure that someone else that is in the middle of challenges with their children is always, or if it's, you know, just that one person, if that's the right person to be getting advice from. Maybe you take some advice from them, but maybe you seek out some people who have dealt with something like this, or maybe you seek out advice from someone who hasn't dealt with that, and maybe there's a reason they haven't dealt with it. But taking advice from the right people in your life is one of the most critical things that you can do. And remember this, guys, we live in a world that is super interconnected. So there's plenty of people that are out there that are going to offer you advice. Not all of it is good advice. And not everyone, by the way, even those who care about you and love you, not everyone is going to give you advice that's going to help you win. And so you really have to be careful about who you allow into that circle of your life to give you advice, because eventually those people will start to guide you in the wrong direction. And you've seen them out there, right? Everybody has run into these people who are so quick to give advice, so quick to give opinions. But really, where is that opinion coming from? What qualifications do they have to be giving these opinions? And, you know, those people who are always trying to tell you how to do something, are they doing it themselves? That's what you have to ask yourself. Have they done this successfully? Do they have experience doing this that qualifies them to be giving me this advice? And again, I'll repeat it. Just because someone is successful in one area of their life does not qualify them in other areas of life automatically, right? So if you're taking financial advice from someone who hasn't been successful financially or who has gone bankrupt, that is not sound advice. Jared, 100%, man. You know, get your advice from the good book. Get your advice from someone in life that you trust. Get advice from people who are going to guide you the right way. And there is nothing more important than who that is. And again, you should be able to have open and honest conversations with people who are going to give you sound advice. And those people aren't going to judge you. They're not going to constantly be, you know, putting you down for the things that you're asking them, or judging you for the things that you're asking them, or reacting in some emotionally charged way. They're going to sit there and listen, and their advice is going to be grounded. It's going to be balanced. It's going to be honest. It's not going to be just what you want to hear. If you're getting advice from someone and it is constantly right in line with what you want to hear, you want to be careful of that, because that person is probably not telling you the truth. They're just telling you what you want to hear, or they're not qualified to give you that advice and they're not giving you good advice, right? So think about that, guys. Taking advice from the right people is the most important thing that you can do for yourself, for your family, for your marriage, for your business, all aspects, right? This morning, we're talking about the family aspect of that. And I would challenge you, man. I've seen so many people go through, you know, challenging times in their marriage, and they're getting advice from people who, you know, are either in the same place or they've been through bad things and they've never straightened things out in their own life. And so that is going to do nothing but repeat that same cycle. Those people are not qualified to tell you how to deal with those challenges. So think about that in every aspect of your life. Who are you currently getting advice from? And how can you improve that? Because the quality of advice that you get in your life will absolutely determine the altitude of how high you can go in every aspect of your life. So faith, family, fitness, finances, how high you fly is based on the quality of mentorship and guidance, and all of those categories. If you can't get that right, then you will have challenges. And you see people, right, that make the wrong decisions, and they end up with just massive holes in places that could have been prevented. And that is what I've seen. I've seen people go to the wrong individuals for advice, and that has led them to a bad place. On the flip side, I've seen people go to the right places for advice, and it has completely changed their life, changed their perspective, changed everything for the better. And so I encourage you to spend some time today thinking about who you have in your life that you really trust in those areas. Hopefully everybody is focused on improving those areas of their life, those 4 buckets. And if you don't have an individual for each of those areas, and it could be, there could be a person that has, strength in multiple of those areas. Some people have it in all of them. But make sure that you've got somebody you can go to for every one of those areas. And by the way, if you don't have anyone, we live in a world of interconnectivity. You have social media, you have this group, you have, people you can reach out to. If you need help in any of those areas, I am not necessarily qualified in every one of those areas to give you, or I am not elite in every one of those areas. I don't think I can give you sound advice, but I can certainly, I can help you in all of them for sure, but I can definitely connect you with someone in each of those areas that is an expert, no question about it. And so think about that. Who do you have in each of those areas of your life? And is that person, audit that list. Is that person the right person? Is who you're plugged into qualified in that particular area of life? And if you don't have people in those areas, definitely start to think about how you can start to build that list, because it will be the most important thing that you probably do in your life is to establish those mentors for that area, and get yourself involved in groups of people that are working on those areas, that are really committed to improving their faith, their family, their fitness, and their finances. I hope this was helpful this morning, guys. It's hard to believe that we are on episode 200 this morning. I was going to do something fancy, but I thought, man, this is just a journey, right? We're going down a journey together. I appreciate you guys being here. There's many people on this stream who have been here since episode 1. And I can't tell you, how much it means to me to have you guys here. And I can't tell you how much, how helpful this is for me to do, in addition to hopefully what it does for other people. It is something that I would encourage all of you to find your way to give back to others. I never imagined 200 episodes ago that I would be sitting here every single morning talking to you guys. But it is an awesome thing that I get to do. And it's a privilege to be able to share some of the knowledge that other people have shared with me along my journey. And man, it's been an awesome ride to get to this point. The progress as far as, number of people who are viewing, number of people who I'm connected to, the number of people that I've met in these 200 episodes. Some of these people have become some of the best friends that I have, and I hope that all of you are getting to know me better. I am certainly getting to know all of you better as you show up here. You leave comments, you send me DMs, you tell me how it's been helpful for you. So I appreciate that. From the bottom of my heart, it's awesome to be here. There are bigger and better things coming for this show for sure. As it continues, it will continue to get better. I've got some guests lined up for this week that'll be really special, or great friends of mine who you guys will get to meet and kind of expand your networks into bigger places as well. So I appreciate you guys being here. Episode 200. I hope the information in this was helpful, and I hope it makes you think today. Take advice from the right people. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and don't be afraid when you find that someone may not be the right person at that particular moment in time in your life. Don't be afraid to create some distance there, because that distance can allow someone else into your life that may be really, really helpful and will change your life forever. I've had those people come into my life that have made an enormous impact on me, on my family, on my business, just everything, and that is what you want. You want to be surrounded by those people who are always going to give you sound advice, no matter when you call them, no matter what question you have on the topic that they're an expert at. You're always going to get the right guidance. So wishing you guys an amazing Tuesday. Hopefully you guys had a great Labor Day yesterday. Took some downtime to hang out with the family. I saw some people in our industry, as always, still out there working, but hopefully some of you got a relaxing day and gained some perspective yesterday. Thank you guys for being here. Episode 200, signing off. I will see you guys again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective.